it was, let go and passed, it doesn't mean we have to let it go. It's just that,
I'm not saying to let it go. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying whatever we do, we need to give us some time to read it.
well, there's no question that you give them time, but it's,
And they got it wrong.
good evening.
How are y'all doing?
Doing good, and you?
Well, just wonderful.
You sell a house?
No, I don't. I'm not real estate.
Oh, I thought that's right, you're not a restaurant.
I'm oil and gas. Well, right now I'm doing pile driving.
Oh,
Piles
oh, okay.
underneath buildings and stuff.
Yeah.
They go pipe.
Yep, yep.
It's an interesting world. I had to bring math back into it. I had to do math again. Fractions, measurements. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
great.
but it's not calculus or algebra.
No. Figuring the width of the threads might be calculus. I go, how'd you get to that? How are you?
Good. I wanted to double check, because you mentioned that you were traveling, see, you were going out of town 7, so we can conduct business until 7, and if there's business left, then we need to.
It won't take that long.
If we can get
I don't think so. I've read everything.
We've all three of us we've all gone over it, so.
Yeah.
Very good, yeah.
Are you acting as the chair?
Yeah. Yeah. Bills. Bill. Yeah, some kind of bone. Or is it Dan? One of the two had a bug. I think it's
I like this. Did they come in? They changed this fence and then asked if it was okay. Is that a correct statement?
Yeah, they put the other one in and they're asking.
I mean, it does look better if this one was falling down, but
It doesn't fit the historic
no,
area.
it needs to be white picket fence.
Well, yeah, I agree.
This, we were just talking about
We were
this.
just talking about that.
They have that listed on the agenda as long as wrong address showing up there, right?
I was wondering, I was going, that ain't that address, but anyways.
Yeah, I looked at that. And then,
Now that's what it looks like.
that's when you look at it that way and you see the white picket fence, you say, oh my God, that really looks bad. John said it looks like the fence is actually some, like pallets or something.
Offer one kind of thing just to run by you. I don't see anyone here yet for this item. But we have people for 4 and for 5.
Okay.
If y'all wanted to take 4 and 5 first to see if someone would show up for this, and if nobody does, then you can just act, accordingly. You can leave it as is. Don't, you can.
What is the correct address for that fence issue? Is it 708? It is 708 College?
Yes.
Not Prairie College. Or, yeah.
I'd be confusing those two streets. Those are the things I'm never going to get right. Got the snow and the calendar down.
Good evening, everyone. We'll call the meeting to order for the September 3rd, 2024 City of Montgomery Planning and Zoning Commission. Is there anyone here that would like to speak on any subjects other than what's on the agenda? Okay, then we will move forward. First item on the agenda is approval of the August 6, 2024 regular meeting minutes.
I've read through them and they look good. I make a motion to pass the minutes for August 6th.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded to accept the meetings as published for the August 6th, 2024 regular meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting, item passes unanimously. Okay, consideration and possible action on a front yard fence installed at 708 Caroline Street, located in the Historic Preservation District.
Members of the commission, firstly, let me apologize to you. I swapped the street names. It is 708 College Street, not 708 Caroline Street.
Okay.
I do apologize. The fence is existing, so I hope that helped to clarify anything because it was already there, but I do apologize for that. You do have the information in your packet, some photos of the fence. The owner was not able to be here tonight, though. She does have a friend here, Byron, and I forget his last name, I apologize, but if you guys have any questions or want to ask him anything, do feel free.
I see that you're asking for forgiveness because you've already done it.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Did you check with anyone from the city or the ordinances or anything with the historic district prior to you taking down the previous white fence that was there and placing the black side slanted fence?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, my fault.
No, you're fine.
I don't know. I was just told to do it.
Be here? Oh, you're the
Yes, ma'am, I'm the one that installed it. The fence was rotting away.
Yes.
It was, the previous individual had cut the top of the fence, ruined it, split it down. So it was
What material did you use?
wood. Wood.
And who chose black?
That came prefabricated black.
Prefabricated.
Yes,
So is it real wood or fabricated?
it's real wood, yes, ma'am.
Real wood that was previously painted.
Yes, ma'am.
Our Historic Preservation District would like for things to match in the Historic District and go with the flow. Your fence, that fence, not yours, but the fence that you put up is black and slide slanted, not up.
Not vertical.
Not vertical. And we really like for the people that live in downtown, the historic district, to come to the P&Z and present what they want to do prior to doing it. And I believe there's fines if you go against what our ordinances are.
Yep.
I would hate to say that, we slap you on the hand and sorry, go ahead and do it. But if you do that, then the next person will do it, the next person will do it. And it happens quite a bit. So that's what I have to say, is it does not go in line with what is already going on in downtown historic Montgomery.
It's hard to say it in her defense, but in her defense, 2.5 years ago, she went through a pretty nasty divorce. The person that normally took care of these issues was the one that was like, you can do whatever you want to do, I don't care. She asked him if she needed to do anything. He said no, the house isn't a historic house. So she just assumed. And that's, I think I just put the last post in when she got the phone call from the city saying, hey, you're not supposed to do this.
If I may ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Since you're the one that installed the fence, I've looked at it a couple times, and I've installed fence myself several times. It would be very close to meeting the standard if between those panels you had some kind of a wooden post with a decorative cap on it that stuck up a little bit above the fence and it was all painted white. It looks to me like that came with some kind of panels.
No, sir. They can't. She ordered it from Lowe's. So all they did, it was just, I believe, 8 slats. They're, I believe, 1x4 slats, and they came with a steel spike on each end.
Okay, so they were prefabricated.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, but they were in sections.
Yes, sir. They 5-foot sections, I believe. I don't think they were full 8-foot sections.
Yeah.
Is the material paintable?
I think so. I don't know. It was stained black, so I'm assuming she'd have to prime.
And you just did the physical installation. You don't really, you just installed what she hired you to go there?
Yes, ma'am.
Dig a hole, put it up, and
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
How difficult do you think it would be to separate those panels and put some kind of a decorative post and paint it, as I've suggested?
It would ruin the panel. On the right side of the house, the opposite side of her sidewalk, we had to do it. And the wood is so, it's not treated wood, so it'll splinter, that bad boy right on
Doesn't
there.
sound like it's gonna last too long either.
Oh, well, it is now because I treated it, but I mean, you can only do what you can do is treat
Oh, okay.
it.
Did you treat it before or after the phone call?
It was before. It was before the
Okay.
before we treated it. We had to buy an extra panel That way I could play with it, see what I can do.
Well, to me, it's got a very negative contrast to right across the street when you look at the whole atmosphere of a historic district and trying to maintain the thing. For instance, fences like that didn't exist back when those houses were built.
I agree. I mean, like I said, I don't know much about it. Unfortunately, she's with her two girls at dance. Her argument, when I asked her about it, was 2 houses down, there's a chain link fence that's leaning over. And I was like,
That one's grandfathered in, isn't it? It's not a chain link, it's what is
oh,
that?
it's definitely a chain link fence.
There's some chain link in there that, to your point, that I think has been there.
Yeah, it got grandfathered
Okay,
in.
I'm just telling you. She has told me things to say just in case other things come
Yeah,
up. So.
and we get it. We completely understand. Dave, what is the ordinance that we can, if we, as a commission, decide that doesn't go with the historic district ordinances?
In general, it would take an approval from this commission in order to leave it there, and then, we would go through kind of the removal, kind of the notification of that. Kind of the first step is just, a meeting and a discussion on, just a little more about the commission's, decision and kind of what it, kind of the parameters, for how long it would take to get it out. But it doesn't start a very, very formal process here in the city. We don't do that a lot. But to answer your question, we would start the removal, or start working with the owner to take it out if you guys don't approve it.
I make a motion not to approve it as it is now.
John?
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yes.
Tell me that. She's on a very fine budget as it is now with the 2 kids, all the situation that happened before. If this fence gets removed, she doesn't have the money to put anything else up.
What's in that backyard? Does she have a fence in that backyard, or did that one fall down too?
That's all rotted away.
Yeah.
I've had to come in and just do makeshift wire just to keep the property trees from encroaching over. The very back of the fence, there's no fence. It's all overgrown from the back of the house or the back of whoever owns that property back there. And the house to the left, I guess it's a barndominium, whatever they have there is.
That's been there for many years.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
just
Well,
what the policy is on that.
it is historic.
Yeah.
It is in our preservation, and we have to say no to a lot of people, and we don't know what happens after we say no. Sometimes it turns around and it's yes, sometimes it's a deal. Maybe the owner can check into maybe working with what John said as a suggestion, but that type of fence doesn't go with the aesthetics of historic downtown.
If I may,
Yep.
we do have a motion on the table, and just
Yeah.
to circle back to
Yep.
the next step ought to be not to short circuit the discussion, but if we want to have more discussion, needs to happen after a second.
All right.
Or the motion dies for lack of a second.
All right.
John?
I want to make a motion, make the second. And I want the owner to know that they can appeal this to the council.
Yeah.
So she doesn't like our decision, she has another step to go through.
Okay, so what do I tell her as far as?
Just 1 second.
Well, just a
Okay,
second.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Motion has been made and seconded to disapprove the request to keep the fence in place. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Okay, what this boils down to is it's disapproved, and the owner has the option of appearing before the city council to appeal the Planning and Zoning Commission's decision.
Okay.
And I'll give you all that information there. If you want to email me there on that tree thing, when we talk about the trees earlier, then I'll fill you in on all the appeal process and kind of those next steps from here in terms of what options you have.
Okay. That's good. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're going to move to item number 4. Consideration and possible action on a new sign for Mount Pleasant Missionary Baptist Church located at 15155 Liberty Street, a city-designated historical landmark.
Members of the commission, you have the information again in your packet there. the rules on signs, kind of just a quick overview. Again, while not in the historic district, this was a city-designated historic landmark, which means that those rules to elements that are visible from the right-of-way all need to come again for the EOZ. So with that, we have Pastor Brown and Mr. Wilkerson here to answer anything that you guys have about it, or I'll be happy to answer anything about the agenda report if you have.
The LED light, is it anything similar to what we have in downtown Montgomery that tells when our meetings are, garage sales, what we're doing in Cedar Break Park? Is that the type of sign you're talking about?
I haven't seen the one you're speaking about downtown, but it's the same, it's the same one, okay. Yes, ma'am.
And is it, because I walk, I drive by it and it has scripture on it, and, whatever it has on it, but what would be the sign what would be used on that LED? Times of service, how to,
Any special events that might be coming up, Christmas time, whether it be homecoming or something like special information like that.
what colors?
The colors are
No, I see the sign, but the LED lights.
it could be multiple colors, so it can be something like we have in this picture here with lighting here as well there. It's just it's a different kind of color up here. No certain color at all.
I'm just talking about the words, when they start spelling out.
I'm hoping it's more of a kind of a tan color or yellow color if necessary, something that will get nothing very loud and boisterous at all, something's going to get your attention. No bright white or all, but something maybe yellowish or
Okay.
toned down. Type
Is this like a TV screen where you can put the picture of, like you have on your sample here?
It's a little different, similar but a little different because this is LED lights with the lighting itself. There are small components not above the roll.
Yeah, it's a little
Yes,
tiny
yes,
LEDs.
just most information will come across that.
Okay.
May I say something? It's similar to the school district sign at.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Okay,
And the high school sign up here off of 105.
okay,
Similar to that same type lighting
all right,
that'll be displayed.
okay.
Okay.
Because we had a big old thing about LED lights in downtown and all that,
Yeah.
so I was like, let's just cover that base.
Yeah, because you're not going to have it streaming, it's just going to be there. Okay.
And they do have, in speaking with their sign company, they do have the section up in the top left, that's the excerpt there from the ordinance that talks about, the brightness levels, how often, you can switch screens, no streaming or moving messages and that type of thing.
Okay.
So the sign company's aware, and that's often is the good link, because they're the ones that are going to be doing the programming and showing these guys how to use it, so that way they see those rules and know them.
How long has the existing sign been there?
I think about 33 years, I would say. 33 years.
It's been there a while.
So it's an antique.
Anybody took it out for us.
It's an antique.
I've noticed it's having some trouble keeping the words up there when the pastures are up there and then with the anniversary and homecomings and stuff. I was like, poor thing, the wind's getting to it, so.
And Barrel took it out totally, just when the whole panel's gone, cracked up, so we just kind of like, using it.
Any further discussion?
I make a motion to approve the sign for Mount Pleasant Missionary Baptist Church located at 15155 Liberty Street, a city-designated historic landmark.
I second it.
Okay, motions are made and seconded to approve the sign for Mount Pleasant Missionary Baptist Church at 15155 Liberty Street, a city-designated historic landmark. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Passed unanimously.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Oh, when are you going to do it?
Waiting on y'all to, I get the approval, actually they started to install it. It was actually, they're gonna finish manufacturing it right now, probably within the next, sometime this month.
Okay, good.
They're waiting on this approval here, then we can move forward.
All right, good deal. All right.
Okay. Next item, number 5, consideration and possible action on the following exterior modification for Shades Salon located at 207 McCown Street in the Historic Preservation District. First item, new sign to replace the existing sign on the McCown Street storefront and a new sign on the new Liberty Street storefront. New building trim will color of Sherwin-Williams black in a flat finish. That's to replace the green.
Members of the commission, the information is in your packet, and the owners are here if you have any questions or would like to discuss anything.
Okay?
You gonna do this trim right here in the back there?
Yes, ma'am. The only thing in the back that's black is just the roof,
Okay.
but it'll be the front that's the,
The one that's doing all the
Yes,
most
ma'am.
thing. I just didn't know if you were gonna do that, where y'all put a shade over there where you walk in and not get rained on, if you were gonna do those posts. But no. Only the
not
front.
as of now. I think we're gonna have to have another meeting for the porch. It needs to be redone really bad.
Okay.
And the material is made out of, is that metallic type of thin metal?
Yes, I would be lying.
Aluminum composite material?
Yes.
Okay.
Which means it won't rust.
Yeah.
Hopefully not, yeah.
John, you have any questions? Well, I'll entertain a motion.
All right, I make a motion that we approve the action, the exterior modifications for Shade Salon located at 207 McGowan Street in the Historic Preservation District. That's Sherwin-Williams black flat on your
Trim.
trim, and the shade is aluminum and meets criteria of the size, and you will paint in the back Sherwin-Williams black right there above. Okay.
All right.
I'll second that.
Okay. All those in favor say
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Motion carries unanimously. It's approved.
Is that up front as well, or?
So the steps from here, our office will call in the morning to pay for the 2 sign permits, but, or they'll call your contractor in the morning, sign
Okay.
contractor in the morning, but you guys will be good.
Okay.
On the porch, I'll circle back with you guys, because we've
Okay.
got a project going on that street that may help.
The front is where we're changing the trim color. The front is
Yes.
green, so
Yeah.
that's okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, we said yes
Yeah,
to
we
all
said
A,
yes to
B,
all
C.
that.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, when are you doing it?
We're waiting for approval, so hopefully.
Okay, so it's in the works, okay? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Okay, we'll swing back to item number 3. Consideration and possible action on 2 signs, one freestanding and one wall sign for Lola and Viv Designs located at 305 Prairie Street in the Historic Preservation District.
Members of the commission, you have the information in your packet. You may remember this is where, or some of you may, this is where the Beauty Babes was there on Prairie Street, just north of Your Mama's. And Lola and Viv Designs are doing 2 signs there. One just above the front porch on those open gables, or on the gables there, and then one there that's part of the access ramp over to the side.
Okay, do we have anyone here representing the request?
We do not have anyone here for that.
Okay, I will speak for myself here. I do not like the sign on the gables. My recommendation would be that the sign be placed at the lower horizontal gable or beam, and if possible, narrowed down to where it's like laminated on that beam. You see what I'm talking about?
Yes, it takes away from the character
It definitely takes
of the historic
architectural,
district, yes.
Well, even the signage itself and the lettering and all kind of take away from the old
The old script.
Old town.
The old, yeah.
idea.
And the freestanding sign, that one there is also
It's just,
real busy.
yeah, it's too much verbiage on a small sign,
Yeah,
in my, yeah, just my opinion.
yeah. So, I'll entertain a motion to take action of what type.
Are they dead set on this, Dave?
I have spoken with the sign company, or I've exchanged emails with the sign company.
I make a motion not to pass it, but we want to talk to the owner about other possibilities of what we could offer, or what our suggestions are, and they come back and let us know. because I agree, I don't really particularly care about it being on the gable, just because it takes away from the character. And although that sign is simple, that's pretty cool, but this one, this big
So
one,
busy.
it takes away from the kind of downtown homey prehistoric, Lord have mercy, historic district that we have.
It looks like all that extra stuff on there should be done through advertising, not on the sign.
So that was a motion to table until the next meeting.
Table?
Table.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion is made and seconded to table the request for the signs at 305 Perry Street in the Historic Preservation District. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, it's tabled unanimously. Okay, the next item is, at our last meeting, was setting a new date for the public hearing on a rezoning request of 15.46 acres along Lone Star Parkway west of Liberty Street from industrial to commercial, ID industrial to B commercial and R2 multifamily residential as submitted by SPT Montgomery LLC. This was set for tonight, but the posting to have the public meeting tonight didn't get out in the required time frame. So we can, I guess, schedule it for the September meeting, right? I mean, the October meeting.
Yes.
So what would that date be?
October 1st, it looks like.
Oh, okay. So,
What is it zoned right now? It's industrial?
Yes, ma'am.
What was the grand city plan for that area? Do you know? I don't have that map with me. I can bring my bag.
In terms of,
What has been proposed or spoke about or talked about,
I think at one
possibilities?
point, to state the obvious, I think at one point it was intended that it would be kind of, light industrial, industrial use up there. The reality is that a lot of industrial development doesn't happen inside the city. That typically happens either, near a bigger corridor, but we know it's near, two major, roadways, both, 149 and Lone Star Parkway, so a commercial use on the corner seems to be reasonable for
I
most.
think this is about the third or fourth time we've seen this by different developers.
This is actually one that, so this came about 18 months ago, came before city council, and then just kind of went dormant for, several months, and then, picked back up with the rezoning request.
can I ask what was it? Did city council take any kind of action?
No, it was a presentation, kind of a concept pitch, if you will.
Oh, okay.
Of, hey, before we enter into an escrow agreement and spend the money on a feasibility study, would you guys generally be not as a yes or no, but would you generally entertain a project like this and allow us, to kind of get into the development process? Again, there's not a yes until, the council actually acts on something.
What was the sense of the council at that time?
I think there was some heartburn over the rent, the build to rent multifamily or horizontal multifamily. You kind of hear it called different things. I think people are just trying to get away from the idea of, well, it's a duplex or a threeplex or a fourplex, which certainly to me has, lots of benefits, and is, my own, thoughts as a professional is that those are very underused in a lot of our developments. But back to these, build to rent communities is an interesting dynamic, the social fabric of it. If you've got a community of only rentals, what does the neighborhood feel? Do your neighbors still have the same kind of, sense of
Ownership.
community that, you would have living next to someone that you feel like, you saw the kids grow up. And not to say that won't happen. There's some long-term renters, and there's nothing wrong with that. And economists would say that that's, that enough, rental units is a good thing. So I could talk a lot about the pros and cons, but I won't.
Okay.
But generally, council wasn't wild about the idea. They had more, questions than anything, leading out. But it wasn't a hard no, but it was you're gonna have to show us a lot.
Sell it. Yeah.
And it goes, how far down does it go? Does it go close
Just
to
down
the
to the
community?
community, right?
Down to communities,
Yeah.
okay. And it comes out to the street, close to those houses that are next to the church? right? It's
Right.
church,
You know,
a
there-
street with some houses, and then empty property.
Right.
Okay, and they wanted kind of jack,
They were
okay.
planning some, some type of access, I think kind of initially, at least like an emergency access off of Lawson, but not a connection to, I think.
Off of what road?
But
Lawson.
that would be like
Lawson.
more of like a life.
So those are townhouses behind there, aren't there? Yeah.
Right, for that, they would need another emergency access, and so that's where something like that.
And also Baja and Dr. Martin Luther King Road back in that area, it floods and gets kind of wet back in there.
Kind of, Atkins Creek is generally just a hair north of there, but man, you could hit it with a rock.
Yep.
In the backyard.
I know, I've driven back there. I like that back road. And it backs up to those people that have lived there a long time on Baja.
Yeah.
And that would be storage in that back area, right?
That's what they would contemplate, but again, I do want to stress that, while that's in there for informational purposes, please, anytime you consider a rezoning, just know that it could be.
Do anything they want.
Right, so, take those plans, just as a thought, right now. But again, the action here tonight is to call that public hearing for October 1st, and let's get that.
What's the result of the public hearing, though? Once that happens, what happens?
Next steps after that, so what happens on the front side of the hearing is in between now and October 1, I'm going to be mailing letters to all the owners of, that are within 200 feet of those properties or that property, and we're going to be publishing a legal notice. So we have our public hearing here at the P&Z. Y'all will develop a kind of a final recommendation or a recommendation and a report that goes to council. Either we think you should rezone this, we think you should not rezone this. Here's, it can include some pros and cons. If you have them, it can just be a simple recommendation if that's all it is. Then at the next meeting on October 8th, the council will get your report, they'll hold a public hearing, and they'll act on that, on the request. So,
Okay.
Okay, I make a motion to reschedule the public hearing to October 1st.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded to reschedule the meeting to October 1st. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Carries unanimously. The meeting will be rescheduled to October 1st. Okay, does the commission have any inquiries?
I have two.
Okay.
I noticed some vehicles sitting in an empty parking lot with the word "for sale" on it. I can understand if you just want to put your car there, you own the business or whatever. I just want to make note that downtown historic Montgomery doesn't need to be a car lot of just random cars sitting there for sale. And I noticed this past weekend that the flow in downtown Montgomery, when we were having Labor Day weekend, was not, I would call it user-friendly. There was a lot of different signs, a lot of flags, a lot of people parked in weird ways, and, still have that parking lot beside In Stitches that is in bad shape, and all they have is cones up there, and it's just an eyesore. It's just not pretty. And people are just parking all over the place. So I just want to bring that to your attention that I live here, and it's not aesthetically pleasing to drive down 149.
The main point that you're talking about there, though, so we can focus on where we need to be focusing. We're talking about up there around the Burger Fresh. Kind of
Yep.
that, kind
That.
of no man's land between each business.
Yes,
And-
that. And then I guess the tea house was going out of business, and now H&H Wines is going to take it over?
Yes.
Is that a-
That was, I believe, a sign on the agenda last week.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm just reading over the notes, so
Yeah.
Oh,
it
yes,
was,
yes, yes.
it was
I
kind of
wasn't here for
messy.
that meeting, but-
Yeah, it was just not, I didn't want to stop in downtown Montgomery and do anything on Labor Day weekend instead of feeling welcoming to come in and, do something. And it's hit and miss, the community center is all neat and clean, and then you got the open parking lot that's parked, and then on the right-hand side, it's like helter-skelter. Anyways, that's my two things that I'm going to talk to the ordinance patrol person and find out what those ordinances are and if they've been approached by anyone else. I make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second that.
Motion's made and seconded, adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Thank y'all. Ooh, record.